Good morning, and welcome to another edition of Tech Niche Tips. I am your host, Joseph M. Smith, and like always, we got another one for you. Now, before we get into her story, Cierra's story, before I even introduce her, I have to ask you a special favor. So, things happen often. They call it struggle streaming, where there may be some glitch in the matrix, and then there's an issue, and for whatever technical reason, things have to be moved around. So, just for full transparency, for whatever reason, my software said that this show is starting at 11:53. So I apologize for anybody who was a part of that and was like, "Hey, 11:53 is the start time." So I need a favor for the faithful few, and I'm gonna point you guys out just now because you already are here. I need y'all to do like a guerrilla war style approach to getting this out now. I need you guys to share it to whoever you can because a lot of people have missed out because they went to the wrong show. It, I'm sorry about that technical glitch, but we're here now. So go ahead and share it with as many people as you can from many different spheres of influence because this is going to be a great show. And I think you're going to really enjoy it. And so, with that being said, I'm going to go to the comment section right now and we are going to just say hello to the crowd. And then I'm going to introduce our guest to the show. I have Coach Ralph in the building. Welcome to the show. Please like, share, and subscribe on the way in. You already know. You already know. And then Mitch said, gave a thumbs up as well. Got Darcel in the building saying, good morning, fam. And Tech Coach Ralph said, I was wondering why not 11:52 or 11:54. Hilarious. Mitch said, or 11:55. You know, so the faithful few are here holding it down. So I appreciate y'all for sure for doing that and supporting the channel. And yeah, like I said, y'all, if y'all could help us by pushing this forward, that'll be great. I'm going to try to do some stuff behind the scenes in the meantime. But without further ado, we have a guest on the stage today. I have none other than Cierra, and I'm not gonna steal her thunder. I want her to give her the opportunity to basically say all the things she's doing because she's doing a lot. And then we're gonna dive into her story. And don't forget, later today we're actually gonna have a Q&A, a question and answer with her and you, the audience, so you can ask her any questions that you have. So stay tuned for that. You do not want to miss out for sure. So Cierra, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Can you tell us, the audience, what are you doing right now, who you are, give a little bit of background, and then we'll dive into your story.
First and foremost, I want to say thank you for having me on the show today. And good morning to everybody out there. It is a pleasure to be here with you all. And I just saw across the comments, I got to give them a shout out. My boy Ty, Thank you so much. It's so good to see you out there live. My name is Cierra, like you said, but we all fam now, so you can definitely call me Cece, everybody out there. Yes, Cece, that's me. But I have a couple different roles. I am a financial technology consultant. And so in that space, I work with different companies and I help them navigate through their conversion process for their core systems. I work on the loan processing systems as they implement. I work in the deposit product section. So where banks and credit unions are implementing their deposit products to offer to their customers or their members, I am the one who is behind the scenes helping to set that up. I do security administration, and I'm also working on programming with all of those lovely service fees that banks and credit unions like to provide to all of us, me included, even though I'm the one building them out in their systems to do it. I'm a part of that too. So I am working with all of those items. So that is what I do in the financial technology space for different banks, credit unions, small businesses, investment firms, just depending on who the client is. If they need that type of a service, I am here to do that. Also, I am the owner of two other businesses, SIS Events and Services, and SIS stands for Sister Inspiring Society. And so everything a part of my brand has to do with SIS. I am an event and wedding planner and then a production company. So we have a full production as part of that process. And then with SIS Speaks, I am doing professional speaking, which is where I'm at right now. I'm actually in Irvine, California for the Women Empowerment Conference. I spoke yesterday and hit the stage with plenty of powerhouse women. And so that is where I am at now this weekend, doing the Sis Speaks portion of one of my many businesses.
Oh my goodness. I lost fingers. I was trying to do the whole finger thing and count. I lost fingers, y'all. Did y'all keep count of that? Because I wasn't able to do that. That was amazing. That was amazing. So we're gonna dive back. We're gonna peel the onion, as I like to say. We're gonna peel the onion back and say, wait a second, you were in all these things at once when you came out the womb. Like, how did you get into this world, specifically the fintech world, consulting world, event planning world? Because it really does tie together when we talk about your story and what we're going to talk about later on. But how did that all come together? Let's start there.
Well, it starts when I was out in college in Tennessee, and I thought I wanted to be in programming. My mom actually works for Intel. She's an engineering tech.
Oh,
And
wow.
so, I was really interested in what she does, which is engineering for there. And I was like, oh, computers, it's so great. Intel makes their microchips, and what she does is she looks under a microscope in a clean room. And I just liked I like the bunny suit. You know how they do the bring your child to work day? We got to put on the bunny suit, and I wanted to put on a bunny suit, not knowing that it was because I needed to be clean. I thought it was just something to do, right? So that inspired me to really get into the programming space. So I took computer science when I was in college, and I took some programming, and then come to find out, it really was not my niche from the programming perspective. I figured out I really was not into SQL. And so, but now my life is involved with SQL. So it's crazy. But I really was into communication. So my formal education is all the way through the space of organizational leadership, business communication, and human communication, and public speaking. So those are the areas that I focused on in my formal education. However, while I was going to school, I started working at this company, CheckFree. And when I was working at CheckFree, I was in the contact center, and I wanted to kind of just build what it was. I wanted to learn all about the company. I wanted to learn what different products and services were available to me, because I knew that there was more out there. So I started learning all of those aspects. And then as I advanced in my career and into leadership, then I moved into the role of training and development, which tied into it. But I also had to plan. I was doing project planning. I was, having to plan my own engagements. And so that really helped me to shape into the consulting world. And I ended up moving into a role where I had to handle core systems. And with managing out their core systems and how they were working in that space, I was able to become a consultant. And so now I am in that fintech space in consulting, but I also utilize my event planning services in my consulting world by automating my systems, making sure that anything I bring to the table has some form of tech involved with it. Also, I'm a Six Sigma Lean Black Belt.
All right.
So that also helped to shape how I handle projects and how I'm able to be considered a consultant within the fintech space.
Well, let's go back for a second. There's a lot of things I want to pull out there. But let's talk about your mother. Like, that's a very unique position to have someone as a parental figure who's working in tech. Like, I could tell right away that you wanted to be like her, the influences that she had in your life. Can we pause and talk about the impact that your mother had in your development in regards to your love and interest in tech?
Oh, absolutely. So my mom, she started at Motorola. And so she's always been involved with some type of technology with her career. And so and also my father, he was a semiconductor in that space at Motorola as well. So from both sides, from both sides, I was getting that. And, being in a house with two people who worked at Motorola, it was like, that's all I saw. And then when both my parents ended up working at Intel in two different spaces, but daughter wants to be just like her mom.
Did they meet at Intel as well? Did they meet there as well?
No, they were already married.
Oh,
My
okay.
parents met a long, long time ago.
Oh, wow. It was love at first bite, literally.
Right.
Nanobite. Nanobite.
Now, if they met in Silicon Valley, that would be something to talk about.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
no, they were already married when they were at Motorola. And I wanted to be like my mom in her space because she was the one who actually was working in the clean room.
mm,
And going there every year for the Take Your Child to Work Day, I really saw what she got to do under the microscope.
wow.
So what my mom does is if there are defects in the computer chips, what she does is she'll look and she'll find those defects, and she'll fix them. So that was what she was doing at the time. Now she's a
Yes.
lead engineering tech, of course, after 30 years of service. And so, the engineers come to her. So it's really great to see that. And I
Hmm.
just see how well respected she is in Intel.
Yeah.
One of her greatest friends was Brian Casanich, who was the CEO of Intel. So
Wow.
just to know that she has that personal relationship with someone of that caliber, it really just drove me to want to continue on that legacy in the space of technology. And so he
Mm.
was the person I actually wrote one of my master's degree papers on, because
Oh,
I knew they had that relationship. So that was really, really great.
wow, wow. And so I'm looking and thinking about your story. You have all these influences. You get to see and you're exposed to so much. Let me just go. Let's go back to the event planning for a second. Then we're gonna so much other things we could peel back. But that combination of like saying, okay, I see a real opportunity in the event planning and meeting those two worlds of fintech. When did that aha moment happen for you?
I was actually looking at a post on Facebook
Yes.
and noticing that there was nothing in that area.
Okay.
And we have Afro tech that happens, but mine is very tailored to the Black male experience. So
Mm,
it's called the Black Male X, and the opportunities that are available in tech, there's so many. And a
yeah.
lot of people just don't have the information.
Yeah.
They don't know what they don't know. And so
Mm,
that is where I was like, well,
true.
hey, there's not that many of us in this space that
Mm,
offers these services, or that are not available. And I wanted to bring that space out there and just say, hey, we're here, this is what we're doing, and you do have the ability to do it without all of this formal education, depending on the areas in which you want to go and grow in. And
yeah.
so it is available. And
Wow.
so I was like, well, let me take my knowledge of financial technology and what that looks like, and then let me take my knowledge and what I can do in event planning and put something together to where it's a freestanding opportunity for people to come together, where you don't have to join a membership, you don't have to be in a fraternity or anything like that to get this information. You
Yeah.
can do it just by showing up, getting your ticket
Mm,
and showing up. So I'm
yeah.
making it available for everyone.
Yeah.
And
And we're gonna definitely peel more into that. You were talking before we had a conversation regarding opportunities in the space, and you were saying that there are opportunities now, even where you can leverage whatever previous skills you had, you could leverage different resources and get into the tech industry. Let's talk about that a little bit because
yeah.
I feel like your way, you talked about all the things that you led to get here, but there's other people that may be like, hey, I don't have that conventional background. I don't have that parent that was in the industry with the connections. Can you talk about the opportunities that are in the space?
Yes, absolutely. So when you want to get into the technology space, all you have to do is start with some type of entry level. Whether
Mm,
you're getting into that space with sales and just getting your foot into the door, if you know you're charismatic, you're outgoing, and you have that sales background, you can start doing sales in technology.
yeah.
And from that sales space, which is what information I actually got that from my friend Ty, who told me that that's available. In the space of financial technology, you have the ability to join in. If you've ever just worked as a teller, there's no formal education to become a teller, but you
Yeah.
can start out as a teller at a bank or credit union and work your way up into that back office space, is what we call it. And
Mm,
you can be in back office, and that's where you start to get the behind the scenes and building and implementing different areas within the space for technology.
yeah.
And so having that front office knowledge of how banking works will get you in the door without a formal education of that.
Mm,
There's also the area of communication. So if you are interested in maybe training and development or the communication space, that is also a way into the door to getting into that back office space. Because once you're in, you have to remember these companies will pay for your education.
yeah.
If you want to go into further spaces, there's certifications that you can get. So if you're not a traditional school, there's all types of certifications that are available. Also, with organizations, they have their own certification programs
Yeah.
that are just, for their company, that are already implemented. Once you join the organization, you can start day one. So those are types of opportunities that are available to you, that you don't have to go to traditional school or enter into the space with that.
Yeah.
They provide those types of education and certifications for you
Yeah.
to be able to learn and grow.
Yeah, I totally agree with that because that's my story. Like I literally was in the call center, contact center for a solar company, and I didn't realize I had transferable skills that would lend to the tech industry. So I decided to do a boot camp called Course Careers, where they do HR. They have a whole bunch of different courses now available, but back then the flagship was tech sales, and so I started my SDR journey by learning all of those different things regarding language, like what is SaaS, what is
Mm-hmm.
truly a sales cadence, like how do you even start in regards to finding your ICP, like all that was done
Mm-hmm.
during that course of training. And then it got me my job, which that was the goal of that particular boot camp. But even when I was talking to my one of my managers or leaders at my company now, I mentioned, hey, there's this another basically course I want to take called Level Careers that has Kevin Dorsey teaching it. Like, if you know Kevin Dorsey, he's big in this space.
Yeah.
And they're like, and they said exactly what you said. It's like, oh, you're gonna take that course? We love Kevin Dorsey here. We'll pay for it. So like, there's so many opportunities that you could leverage either a tech boot camp like Course Careers or Level Careers, and you could be able to have the company pay for it as well. So it's a really a win-win situation in that case. Or if you want to be a sales engineer and really kind of find mentorship, there's like Learnful, for example, where they actually have a whole cohort dedicated, and it's actually led by Nigel, he's a principal SE at HubSpot. And they have like
Mm-hmm.
a whole cohort where they kind of guide you and walk you through, not saying that they're necessarily going to land you a job, but they can give you the tools that you can use in order to get to where you want to go, if that's what you want to do. So if any of those things
Yeah.
interest you, go ahead and check the description below because they are there as well. But that is so true. There are unconventional ways of getting into this industry. You just have to know where to go.
Exactly. My poison of choice is Cornerstone. So
Cornerstone.
that was my learning course of choice,
Nice.
that was available to me, was going through the Cornerstone different projects. I know they have a lot out there, but yeah, the companies will pay for you to get these education.
Yeah.
I got my Six Sigma Lean black belt from my company, the company paying for it.
Well, can you break that down for people that don't know? What is a Six Sigma Lean black belt? In case they don't know, they
So
might think it's karate.
Yeah, no worries. No, it's not. Well, it's project management karate.
I love it.
So with a lean Six Sigma black belt, I have the skills and tools to lead projects
Yeah.
and in the project management space. And so it teaches you mainly in manufacturing, and also when there is delay, how to recognize and identify delays and waste in processes, and how to utilize statistics in
Hmm.
order to make better decisions from an organizational standpoint for any products that are being offered or any services that are being offered, to streamline those items with minimal delays and waste in their products and services to keep them going.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it's a really great course. into the world of project management, which is
Yeah.
kind of where my next goals are, is to, continue to leading projects. Working as an independent consultant, you have to be able to have these little skills and tools to be able to manage and lead projects, because that is what they're relying on you for when it comes to doing a conversion, or when you are working in this space and you're working on a project for a financial institution or any space in tech.
Yeah.
You're going to have different milestones in those projects, and you have to know how to manage your time independently. And so it really helps to identify any areas of opportunity that are available, how to manage your time, how to manage the project, how to come back and let the customer know what's happening with the product and service, and what recommendations, because they don't know what they don't know. They're looking at you for recommendations on how to make their product or service work from the back end. And so in order to do that, you have to have that skill set and knowledge to be able to identify that information, one, and to be able to provide recommendations and workarounds as to how you're going to deliver it in the most effective manner with the less delays and waste for their processing time and their cost.
Yeah.
So that's what Six Sigma does.
You got me thinking now. And first of all, let me pause right here. Listen, y'all are talking in the audience. I want to definitely point it out here because a lot of people have said some really good stuff, and then we're gonna do Q&A later. So don't forget, put your questions in there, guys and gals. Put your questions below, so we're gonna address it later. But Tech Coach Ralph says if there was a more context of what we use these technologies and languages they teach us in college, we'd probably stick with it better. And he was talking about those different concepts. I think it's a good point as well. Mitch said black belt. He knew exactly what you're talking about. He said, actually said companies definitely pay for the Lean Sigma. She is right.
Absolutely. That's how I got mine.
Yeah. And he also Tech Coach Ralph said all about strategy. Companies are willing to pay for your development. I know this information is gold, but take a second to like, share, and subscribe. That's what I was going to say next too. If this information is gold to you, go ahead and share this with somebody, because normally we talk about so many different tech careers that are available to you, but we're going to talk about being consultant in this space because Cierra, or let me say CC, like CC, somebody's listening to this and saying, listen, what you're doing, I feel like I could do that. I'm a C, I'm a type D, type C personality. I like numbers. I like finding the gaps. I like to do this. How do I get it? I mean, you told me how to get an entry-level position. Got that part, check. But how do I become you, Cierra? CC, you're my idol. You're the person I want to idolize right now. How do I become you?
So how you become somebody like CC? I like the way you said that. So to become someone who is a consultant, an independent consultant at that, what you need to do is be able to build relationships, right? Yeah. So you have to be able to communicate in an effective way that makes sense, and you have to be able to deliver results. So organizations, they are going to pay for those two things. They're going to pay for a good working relationship, and they are going to pay for results. So if you know already you're a numbers person, this is where your numbers piece come into play. So if you're more of a numbers person and you know how to get them the results on paper, just from data tells everything. So if you know you could deliver the data in that aspect, then make sure that you also have proper communication skills. You're a quick communicator. You are able to do problem solving. You're a critical thinker. All of those things, because things happen, right? Tech and things happen. And so when someone is, and again, I'm in financial technology, there are a lot of different spaces. So you're going to hear a lot of my examples in the financial technology space. So there's a lot of banks and credit unions when they are going through and they're converting over into a different core, there may be some data that does not come over properly. They're looking to you to be able to say, why didn't these deposit accounts come over when they were supposed to come over? Or they're not tracking information, or our balancing is off for the day. You're going to have to be able to speak to those things for that institution. And you're also going to have to be able to provide workarounds. So quick thinking on your feet, problem solving are all skills that are transferable skills that you can utilize. So you have to make sure that you're really great with communication and problem solving outside of just being good with numbers. So you always want to make sure that those are some things that you can impact. So I was able to build my resume just from being able to, one, show results, but I'm really, really good at building relationships too. I'm really good at making sure that my customer is valued and that I'm listening. I'm really good at active listening. So that is a skill that you have to learn, is to be able to actively listen to what it is your bank or credit union or whatever your customer is looking for and what they want. What is their end result? And how are you going to help deliver that? So when you're bringing your proposal to the table and your bid to the table, for that bid, you just have to make sure that what you tell them, you are able to deliver to them. So that's something that's really going to help you to build your resume. And start out with startup companies, start out with small businesses that may need somebody in that space to help build their core system. Those are some really great areas that you can build your network in, to get started with the space and building up that until you get into that corporate space.
Yes, that's so good. So good, y'all. I'm going to drop it right now. I'm not going to wait any longer. Connect with Cierra, right? Connect with Cierra. It's in the description below, but I definitely dropped it there on YouTube. If someone wants to grab that right away, there's a couple links in there to connect. And right there, you're going to see something that goes towards what she was talking about earlier, which is the Black Male Conference. We're going to definitely talk about that. But one thing that I found is unique is that you, and during our conversation prior to this, and even from what I could glean from just doing research and getting a chance to learn from you through LinkedIn and things of that nature, you have seen a lot. Having parents that work in the industry, yourself that works in the industry, realizing, and let's just be honest about it, that navigating this space is very unique for people of color, right? It's very unique for us. And so you have a unique perspective on it. And that has been the reason why you decided to create specific conferences and events, specifically the Black Male Conference, because of specific things that you have seen, experienced, or heard. Can you talk about the why behind it, in case some people may not be aware of what you're doing in that space as well?
Absolutely. So the reason why I created the conference to be geared towards the Black male experience is because it's not there. I attend women conferences all the time. I am speaking at them. I'm there just as an attendee, and they are always women dominated. Men are invited, but they're women dominated. So it's never a safe space for men to be vulnerable. And no matter what, even though I am a woman in the space of event planning as well, there's nothing wrong with Sister Inspiring Society, which is the name of my business. Bringing this awareness to the forefront and shedding light and allowing that space to be available to them, for them, and allowing them to be treated like the king they are. Because yes, we are going to talk tech. We're going to talk about all those things, but they will be treated like a king while they are at that conference. We got other things in store for them. They don't have to worry about food the entire weekend. They don't have to worry about, if you're a part of our VIP experience, we're offering facials. You get a facial, you get you get a facial, compliments of rare skincare and aesthetics. You're also going to get a personalized massage. And so that is something that, we're offering to them. You're going to be treated like royalty. We have selfie stations and self-affirmation areas where you're going to be able to get into the camera and talk to yourself, and being able to provide you with that confidence. We are going to have video shoots going on professional headshots for you to put on your resume and your profile, for you
Hold
to
on
have
now.
that professional headshot taken at that time. So it's an elevation for you to prepare yourself for these interviews, for these talks. We're going to talk critical thinking. We're going to talk and allow for you the opportunity to build your elevator speech. So we're preparing you to get into this space. I see those eyes. Yes, the Black
Yes.
Male X Conference. It is for you. And so that is what we are doing. And it's very important that all of these things are available. Women don't have a problem stepping up and stepping out. And I know men don't either, but they need to feel that there is a safe space for them to do so that's not so women dominated. Now, there will be women there, but we are going to be serving the men.
Hold on. I gotta do this real quickly. In the comment section. Mitch is like, that's dope. I had to put some clap emojis in there because I'm just like, wow. Tech Coach Ralph says Joseph started licking his lips when he heard the selfie station. Not even the selfie station. I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about the massage. I'm like, yeah,
We got you.
I could
We
use a
got you.
massage. Listen, y'all. Seeing is believing. I gotta share this real quickly with y'all because we're gonna dive into it. June. Listen, y'all. This is very soon. June, right? You want to look into this right now. June 7th to the 9th. And let's go back. Let's go one by one. So June 7th to the 9th, we have it here. And as you can see, this was founded by CIS Events and Services. Look at that. The combination of everything. Combination of everything coming right now.
And yes, I do give out a scholarship. Yes. So I've been in business. This will be my 5th year in August in business. And I give out a scholarship every year. And so I will be giving out a scholarship as well for 2024. So yes.
Taz says, Smith said, pull up, y'all. You can definitely have that. You can definitely have that the pull-up feature effect right now. But let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask you, where is it gonna be hosted in this year?
It is in Tempe, Arizona.
Oh, nice and warm.
Nice and warm.
June
I won't have you outside sweating. We're gonna be inside. It's in a conference, it's at the conference center for the DoubleTree Hotel in Tempe, Arizona.
I love that.
So yeah, we inside.
Get my cookies. That's right.
Yes, getting those good old cookies. We got those on deck too.
Oh man. Y'all listen, I'm gonna pause right now to say this. If y'all have not shared this with a man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least share this with 5 men that need to see this right now. Because I think I don't know if it's a part of the whole thing, but we're gonna probably need some counseling too. We're gonna probably need some mental health counseling up in there as well. But this is amazing. So look at that. I'm just going through the information right now so the general public could see here. But as I'm going through this, feel free to talk about anything that you would love to. Yeah.
So I definitely want to hone in on the problem, right? Okay. So I actually went out and canvassed surveys myself to Black men. And I did a survey talking about their age range, right? I collected some demographic information, right? I'm a numbers person as well. Being in tech, in financial tech, I need my numbers. So my demographic was different age range, but a huge part of that was young, under the age of 40. And the problem is that they did not feel that there were enough resources for men. So 59% of those 100 men that were surveyed, 59% felt that they did not have resources. 73% said that they did not attend conferences because they were women dominated. And again, they did not feel it was a safe space for them to have like-minded individuals who look like them, as far as not from being Black, but just look like them, that were men that were able to freely talk without women being present. And then 17% of that group felt that, well, I'm just going to not do anything. They lost interest. They lost interest in their growth and development because the resources were not there. And so again, in order to have a conference for them to be able to get information, they felt it was only available if they were in a fraternity or if they were a part of some type of membership. There was nothing that was stand alone. And that's where my event planning kicked in. And I'm like, why not have a standalone conference? You don't have to join no membership to show up. You don't have to be in a fraternity and pledge to show up. Now, I love my fraternity brothers. I am a member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated
All
and
right.
Iota Phi Lambda Sorority Incorporated, and I'm a very proud member. But that space does not mean that you have to be a part of that in order to have the information given to you. So why not bring this table, create the table, and tell my people to pull up? So that's basically what I did.
Wow. Wow. And so you found a solution here, 25% growth of brotherhood, 100%
Yes,
increase in mindset and motivation.
absolutely. So these are my solution goals to the problem, right? I want to make sure there is at minimum, it's the first one, right? This is an inaugural event. So everything is just based off of my entry level goals. 25% of growth and brotherhood. And what that looks like is that at least 25% of the participants, they exchange information. So when you get your badge, there will be a QR code on the badge that scans to their social media. I want you to connect. Scan each other's badges while you're there and connect. So that's where that growth and brotherhood, and hopefully they build and network relationships. I want a growth of 15% minimum for increase in male Black-owned male businesses. So patronizing at these different businesses, I want a 15% increase in top line revenue, right? So that's what I was that is my goal for that. And then 100% mindset. I don't care if one person shows up or 10,000 people show up. I want everybody there to be able to take something away with mindset and motivation change. So that's that 100%.
Wow. That's this is amazing. And then you can see the research and prepare and experience and optimize and evaluate. Look at the smile. Look at the smile on that brother's face.
Okay. Okay.
Let me go back. This guy looked like he was like, oh, like this is so much. He was like it was overwhelming for him. And this was smiling.
He looking sharp, right?
Yeah, man. Before and after of the effects of being there. No, this is going to be amazing. There's highlights on the 7th. It's cigars and cocktails, meet and greet. Then on June 8th, there's the conference itself. And then June 9th, African Royalty Gala and Awards. So we gotta get our the shikis out. We gotta get right.
You gotta get right. Now I do want to mention the gala and awards women are invited to. So yes, the conference itself on June 8th, that is just reserved for our men. Again, women will be there, but we will be there in service to our kings. And then June 9th, women are invited to come as guests if they would like to attend the gala and awards. It is open for all royalty.
Beautiful. And then the single day cost as seen here, which is not bad at all. For all the things you mentioned, you don't have to worry about food, nothing. This is beyond great.
Yes. So that's just, if someone wants to come to the conference or they just want to come to the gala, that's our prices. And then we have our full packages on that next screen. Yeah. And the gentlemen, that is just if you want to come to all 3 days and experience, everybody gets a notebook, a pen, you get a lapel pin that says the Black Male X. It comes with all of your food and beverages included for the day. Now I ain't ordering no cocktails. Now you gotta pay for your own alcohol, but all of your non-alcoholic beverages are included. Now, if you want to get the boss, I only got 10 of those available. So if you want the boss, that's where you get the choice of a facial or a massage at the event. And then it also includes drink tickets at the gala. You get those 2 drink tickets. The king, you get both the massage and the facial. And again, I only have 10 of those available. Everything else is included. Plus, you also get that professional headshot. Now, the professional headshots are included in the king, but if you want one, you could still purchase one there separately as well.
The value is you price this very well. The value is just like the value that you're getting. First of all, is like beyond. Like I've gone to events that were probably for the price of the king, and you're not getting nearly as many things that you're getting in this package alone.
Listen, it's all about strategy, right? Yeah. So as an event planner, I have the skill of negotiation and strategy. And that's how I was able to get to the numbers that I was able to get to, as well as a portion of the proceeds being able to award in different areas. And we can talk about the awards a little bit later that
Yeah.
are going to be available where people can nominate other people for, and then
Oh.
also to be able to ensure that, you know, you got the most bang for your buck for this conference. And also we have discounted rooms as well. I was able to
All
get a
right.
room block. So I do have a room block at the host hotel that you could stay at and not have to leave the whole weekend. Now you could go to the Big Papa.
Uh-oh. Wait a second. The Big
The
Papa. All
Big
right.
Papa. So the Big Papa is our investor circle. So this is a minimum $1,000 investment. It's probably the cost of what you would spend for the king at a different conference, but it's a minimum 1,000. It comes with elite everything. You get a
Wow.
private room, you get full body massage and a full-fledged facial off-site. It also comes with all the gifts, but with this one, you get to have a small, intimate lunch with a celebrity guest. So we have a celebrity guest coming. I'm not telling who it is yet. That's a part of my little marketing. I'll share who it is later. But yeah, there's a celebrity guest coming to have an intimate lunch and take pictures and just be there. You can ask questions. It's no holds barred conversation with that celebrity guest, but it comes with that particular celebrity guest and thing. But you also get that. You also get a bottle of champagne. You get a waitress during the conference. So you are literally in this conference hearing from our speakers from couches and a waitress, and you get to sip on champagne during that time. You get everything else that's included in all the other packages. And also, if you do a minimum 5,000, we're giving you a limo ride to the event and all your marketing as well. So if you have a business, we're going to promote your business on all of our banners and logos and things of that nature. So that's our investor circle or the Big Papa.
My. Oh my
Don't
goodness.
it look good? Don't it look good?
Yeah, Ty said it right here. He said this conference is truly about employment. Shout out to Cierra for making this happen. Wow.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Wow. No, absolutely. Like,
yeah, Ty is speaking on tech sales at the conference. So I'm super excited. He's doing TechX. So we have 4 pillars that we are focusing on that you'll hear from speakers in their fields. We have Health and Wellness X. That is going to talk about the health and mental health and wellness for Black males in that space. We have Empowerment X, which is going to focus on just Black male empowerment, empowering you to get the confidence to be in these spaces. We have Tech X, which is Ty's section, where he's going to talk about tech. All things tech, how to enter into the space of tech, how to get into tech sales, and how to grow your one. If you want to have your own business, if you want to go with a company in tech, we're going to focus on that space. And then we also have Wealth X, where we are going to hear from one of our real estate gurus. He went from, I call it his rags to riches story. So, or menace to millionaire is also what I call him, because he was some back in the day, but he is a millionaire now, and he did that just through growth and development and continuing on in the real estate space and real estate investing. So if you're interested in real estate, he is going to be your guy to help with that. We're also having from BET's Comic View and Comedy Central, Big Baby is going to be there doing our barbershop conversations. That is our real, that is our real and raw conversation. So he's going to be there as a special guest host. And then we are also having King Kong, who is our conference host. And King Kong is the founder of Poetic Soul out here in Phoenix, Arizona. He is the host of that. And it's a very, very popular thing that we have going on out here. So we have a full lineup of everything for those 3 days. It's exciting.
You know, I'm looking at the information I just shared, and the first thing it says, you know, are you ready? And I'm like, I wasn't ready just now for all that. I feel my acts of service heart being filled, and I'm not even there yet. We got Yana in the building. She said, love the empowerment focus. 2 hands in the air. Oh man. Yes. So listen, I'm gonna try something right now, and I'm gonna put it out here and put it in the chat, y'all. Who just by off the information alone, who's saying that? Listen, if I have nothing that's holding me back, I will be there. Put a hand emoji in the chat right now if you're like, listen, I'm gonna be there. Oh, and Techo Drow says when event planning meets technology. That's right.
Period. That's it. That's
Oh,
it.
oh man, I forgot about the Q&A part. That's how engrossed I was in this. I was like, listen, y'all have any questions? Go ahead and put it below. Yada says, I'll be there. She's like, I'm gonna be serving my man. Ty, get
Come
ready.
on. Look,
Ty, get
we
ready.
need some women volunteers to come and serve that day. So come on. And then you get invited as a guest to the gala in your royalty
Ty has 2 hands
queen
up.
outfit. So come on
Yeah,
out.
yeah, I'm joining. I have my hands raised as well. Uh,
Yes.
yes, I have my hands raised as well. We actually are expecting a little one around that time, but we'll see if it
Oh,
happens.
congratulations.
Yeah, literally, I'm like, that's so close. I think in my head like, oh, it's so close. But yeah, Yana says happy to volunteer. Awesome,
Oh, yay.
awesome.
Thank you.
Look at
Thank you.
that. That's your first
Connect with me.
volunteer.
Connect with me.
Yes, absolutely. And just so if you missed it before, I'll put it here again. Go ahead and connect with Cierra. It's in the chat as well. And then he said number 10. I believe that is a yes as well as a hands raised. Mitch has a clapping emoji. There are so many men in general. I just feel like this was something that they would do like in a heartbeat. You may need to open it up for the king section, for Big Papa section, because
You mean more? Give them more than 10?
yeah, you might mean like 10 slots times 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 30 times 3, so it might mean 30. We'll see. Demand, right? Supply and demand. But no,
Absolutely.
there's so much here. Oh, thank you so much, Mitch. Appreciate that, man. Thank you for that. Congratulations. And so there's a lot going on in my life. But yeah, so let me ask you this. Listen, y'all, Q&A time is on us. Again, I didn't really announce it. We just kind of I was so fixated on what was happening. But Q&A time is upon us. If you have any questions for CC, go ahead and drop it in the chat below. We will definitely address them. But I definitely want to ask you a question as well in regards to, and this is, I guess, a more of a personal question. So, like, people might say that sounds great. Creating an event sounds great, but it sounds scary. Like, how do I even go about getting funding, doing like hotels and stuff like that? Like, how did you? Of course, you had experiences leveraging that while you were doing stuff in the tech industry. But how does somebody go and create an event, that's feasible for them to do?
Well, it takes a lot of strategy and pre-planning. You have to be very clear about the message that you want to send first. What are your goals for your conference or your event? It doesn't have to be a full conference. It could just be a day. But what are the goals that you want to achieve? And then you start writing down what are the top 3 things that must happen. Like, what are the non-negotiables that are going to happen? And then what are the 3 things that you're like, it's cool if this happens, but it doesn't have to. And then what are the 3 things that you're like, I absolutely don't want this experience? Because that will help you to organize what you need to focus on. And then this is a pro tip from an event planner.
Come on now.
Always start booking the things first that you need all day. So I need the venue all day. So my venue is going to be my main focus, along with photography. That's something I need all day. So that was a main focus. Videography is something that I need all day. So that is a main focus. So you're going to focus first on booking vendors that you know you're going to need all day. Once you focus on that, then everything else will fall in line. If you're doing it at a hotel, most of them include the food and beverage because you can't bring outside food to those types of things. So we're doing it at a hotel. So the food and beverage is included. That's actually the cost of the room. So there is no room rental. It's just food and beverage. So those are the things to think about. Do you want that, a food and beverage minimum, or do you want a space that you pay for the venue and you can bring outside food and beverage? So if you do, you need to make sure that you have food on your list, always go with a caterer that allows you to do a taste testing. This is just something that, again, another pro tip. If they offer a taste testing, yeah, I need to taste it because food is very important to me.
Yeah.
And so I need my guests to be happy with the food selection. Food is huge, right? I don't
Yeah.
want nobody coming to them saying, no, that food was not good. No, we need the food to be good.
Not for the men.
So yeah, it's very scary, but if you have strategic planning in place, that is something that's going to help make it a lot easier of a process for you. And if you need help with it, reach out to me. That is something I do talk to my clients about. I do independent consulting for this as well. So I have other event planners. If you're interested in it, on April 11th, I am doing an industry night talk where I am talking about the contract is signed, now what? And so it's what do you do in between the event planning from conception through the fact that it's there. So if you're interested in
Beautiful.
that, that is coming up too.
So good. So good. Listen, y'all, if y'all appreciate the nuggets that she's dropping, go ahead and like, comment, and if you have not shared this, you gotta share this with at least five men that you know will benefit it. It's a prerequisite right at this point. After I'm done with this show, I'm gonna go and share with 5 brothers as well. Listen, y'all need to check this out. Get your money together.
Yeah.
Guys trip, whatever. We in there, right? We got to do that. We got to do that. And then, yeah, he put your LinkedIn as well. Connect with Cierra on LinkedIn. Absolutely. Darcel says dropping gems, dropping mega gems for sure. Listen, I'm not going to hold you all day, CC. You got stuff to do as well. You're in the beautiful hotel there, and I know you have plans. I'm going to ask one more question. Audience, this is your opportunity. After this question, if I don't see any questions in the comments, I'm giving CC the rest of her day back. I'm not holding her hostage, right? So the question is this. You are entrenched in fintech. You are entrenched in event planning, which connects you to so many other industries as well. In regards to careers of the future, what industry do you say, hey, like y'all need to get up in this? And what position within that industry would you say is a good place for somebody who's looking to have a very fruitful career moving forward?
So definitely consulting is through the future. Like consulting and is going to skyrocket. In the tech space, I'm very biased to financial technology because of the advancements that are happening, that I know are happening, and that are up and coming. There are some really great things coming up, and I think that it's going to solidify the future in the space. However, a lot of AI is also taking over. AI is everywhere. We're even integrating AI into financial technology a lot. We already have seen some of it, but it's going to continue to progress. Just from the clients that I'm working with, a lot of them, you're also going to see a lot of, if you're good with mobile app development is really going to be a wave of the future. One thing that I see a lot at institutions, they're moving away. You know, when tellers have the computers, you walk up to the computer and it's stand up.
Yeah.
We're moving away from that. And again, this is just dropping gems. So if you're good with tablet work, if you're good with building systems in tablets, they're moving to where they actually come to you. Yeah. They're no longer, let's walk up to the counter at a stand-up computer. They got a tablet in their hand, and it's a user's experience type that they are doing, and just to incorporate and improve that. And they're walking up to you with the tablet, and they're going to take your information and handle all of your banking right there from that tablet. Wow. So that is where the industry is going, and it's going to continue to progress from that perspective. Also, with jobs, I would say if you are very much into the engineering or programming, if you're really good with SQL is a never dying area because that's where we see our data. So I would say learn some SQL experience, even if you don't know all of it, but know how to read it and understand it. Like SQL is probably on my top 10 list of things I know in tech, is probably number 7. It's not very high up there, but I
Mm-hmm.
can understand SQL and I can read it and I know what it means. And that's enough for me to be dangerous in the field. So
Love it.
at least know some form of SQL language, and how that works and how to read that data. So I would say that in the industry, and also the everybody wants to learn and grow. So outside of consulting, conferences are going to take over by storm because everybody's having a conference to showcase new products and services. And
Mm.
networking is bringing everyone together. And how to network with multiple people in one space is through a conference. So those are some big areas. So if you want to be a vendor or something, be vendors at conferences to showcase whatever your brand is in that one space.
So good. Y'all go back and listen to that again. Gems were dropped. Treasure trove, as I like to say,
Yeah,
was there. Actually, Tech Coach Ralph said, "Yep, being able to query data is so important."
so
Uh,
important.
yeah, Mitch says, "True, Ralph. They totally agree with you." He actually has a project management question for you as well. He says, "Back to project management. Is the PMP cert necessary for future goals?"
It depends on what you want to do. So I paid for my PMP certification. I have not scheduled my test yet. The I don't know. I'm just be so busy. I have a year to do it, but I'm just so busy
Yeah.
to take it. But that is something that's on my personal radar. It's a personal thing for me. Some organizations do require you to have a PMP. However, if you have Agile on your certification list, that is something that sometimes they will take instead of the PMP. So it's not necessarily necessary because there are other things that you can do. Like if you are more interested in Lean Six Sigma, and agile, I would recommend doing both of those things versus the PMP. And
Mm,
so you can show, because they're honestly, a lot of them are the same things that get talked about. As I'm studying for my PMP, I see it. I see
yeah.
the same type of options and terminology. The difference is with the Lean Six Sigma, if that is something of interest, that is where you're going to get your element of statistics. So you actually have a higher, I guess, probability of getting in, or they look at you in a different way because you also know statistics and what that looks like with standard deviations and things of that nature. So that really does put you ahead of the game. But that certification is important, just depending on if you're trying to go into a PMO, then a PMO is a project management office. So if
Oh,
that's
yes.
something that you're interested in being a part of, typically the PMP is required for a PMO. So it depends on that. If you're interested into entering into those spaces, or if you want to be lead on projects in certain areas, then if you're an independent consultant and you're going up for a bid, when I say you're going up for a bid, that means you are putting in a proposal for yourself to basically sell yourself to that company.
Mm,
So if you are putting in a bid for that and someone is requesting that, the client says one of the things they want is for you to have a PMP, then it would become important for you to have that. So it just depends on the space, so that you want to be in.
nah, that's really good. That's really good. Actually, Tech Coach Ralph, while you were talking, he said, I heard it's really tough one, the PMP. And Mitch also mentioned that there are some companies that will actually pay for you to take the test as well.
There
So,
are there are
yeah,
some companies that will help, that will have you pay for it. They'll pay for you. They'll
yeah,
either pay for your training for it, because even the pre-testing, the training is not free. So join the. So I'm a part of the Project Management Institute. So PMI is the one who actually gives the test, and being a member of the PMI, and also I'm also a part of the Phoenix chapter for
hmm
it. You get a mentor as part of that. The membership is
mm,
only like $40 for me to be on the local level, and then I believe it's like $100 and something for me to be national. So with that, you get mentorship. So I have a mentor who is helping me navigate through the PMP process. And I will share, I did take the PMP once, and I
yeah.
did not pass.
Okay.
I passed 2 sections and I failed 1 section.
It's tough.
So, in order to pass, you have to pass all 3 sections. So, even though I
Mm,
did well, I didn't do well enough in
yeah.
one of the sections to pass it. So, I'm so busy to take it again, but
Yeah.
I am going to be taking it again. And you have a year to do it. So it's a tough test. That was a tough
Yeah.
4 hours. It's brutal. It's brutal.
Yeah, and actually got a question here from former manager of mine, Dimitri. Shout out to you. He actually came through, and he actually has a question because he wants to know, where did you get your PMP from, classes and certification as well. And he
Yeah.
also, because it's what you mentioned was in Arizona. Is that a nationwide opportunity there as well to
Yeah.
get mentorship and all that? Could you dive into that a little bit?
Yes. So the Project Management Institute, they are the ones who actually created the PMP test. So when you
Mm,
join the PMI, you are getting it from the originators and the creators of that test. And it is
nice.
nationwide. There is a Phoenix chapter and there is a Tucson chapter here in Arizona, but there's chapters all over the place. It is nationwide. So you can check and see if there is a local chapter in your area. And that is, if they have cohorts for mentorship. Yes, that is the PMI website.
Right here. Okay,
They
perfect.
have, yep, that's the PMI website. There's different chapters that you can look at and source. Again, it just depends on your area, but it's nationwide and you can look that all over. So that is where I'm registered at, I believe, Dimitri. And now my Six Sigma Black Belt, I got that from the Six Sigma Global Institute. And so I took all the classes. So I started with yellow belt and then I went to green belt and then I got my black belt.
Mm,
So all from Six Sigma Global Institute. And the company I was working for at the time, they paid for that certification. I also have a certification in instructional design, which was also paid for by the organization that I worked with at the time.
nice. Yeah, so that's the play right there. The play is to basically, the strategy is to
Yeah.
basically get into this while working at a company, see how much they can cover, and go to, well, it's pmi.org, right?
Mhm.
And listen, y'all, if y'all interested, go to pmi.org and you'll be able to get this information. And hopefully that answers your question, Dimitri. Let me know in the chat if that answers your question. But definitely I wanted to make sure that she answered that because this is really good info right here for sure. I have a couple another oh, Mitchell saying CC talking that talk. Yeah,
Period. Always.
period. And then he said, thank you for the insight and transparency, CC. Like, they're gonna connect with you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I know I saw some connections coming through already. I thank y'all so much. I look forward to talking to you all more.
Yeah, man. He said, did you have the white belt as well?
No, I started with yellow.
Oh, gotcha. Love it, love it. So listen, y'all, like I promised, I won't thank you. She's incredible. She is. Y'all should connect. Yeah, connect with her on LinkedIn.
Thank
I'm gonna
you.
drop it one more time here. Actually, I think I have to drop it on LinkedIn itself. Let me see if I can do it for the
Yeah,
LinkedIn
I did
family.
get some. So I've been seeing people wanting to connect. I'm going to accept those as soon as we get off this call. I will be accepting all of your invitations. And yes, those who want to come to the conference, connect with me. Let's get together. Let's get it done. Come out
Yes.
and be a part of that experience. It is the first one. And you can say that you are a part of the very first Black Male X conference.
Yeah, if y'all didn't, and real quickly, y'all, because if you weren't here for this part of the conversation, this is something that you definitely want to check out. It's happening in June. Let's see if I can get this working again.
June 7th through 9th.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Technical difficulties. There we go. Oh, because it's at the end. I was like, why is it not going forward? Yeah, June 7th to 9th. Look here. There's so much to that they're offering. And really quickly, y'all, just glean at look at these. The first of all, these are the days for the conference. Look at what you're getting just for conference days, but also look at the packages, man. There's massages involved for the king price right here. The king one, 450, all that you're getting. Listen, and if you really want to take it up another notch, get the big papa, all that's going on in there as well. Go ahead and go back to this video so you can see all that is being offered for there. Really good stuff here. And Cierra, amazing. And Demetrius again said, thank you so much. He actually has a catering company as well. So I don't know if you need food on the East Coast, but he could probably help out
Okay.
with that as well. So y'all could connect and talk about that. But yeah, man, that is it for us today at Tech Niche Tips. Thank you so much, CC, for stopping by.
Of
It was
course.
so good. I don't even know what to say. We can talk offline though. But everybody else, y'all have a great one. And until next time, like I always say, I hope to see you on the other side. Take care, family.